Okay, Mr. Rittenhouse, whenever you are ready. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Good afternoon and welcome to the Communications Ad Hoc Committee of the Akron Public Schools on April the 26th of 2021. Thank you for being here, and I'd like to welcome everyone. And per our usual agenda, I always like to start it off just by reading the purpose of this particular committee that Dr. Akbar recommended start. So the purpose of the Communications Ad Hoc Committee is to study the communities and constituencies that the district has received low to no connection utilizing current tools. Also to identify practices and shortcomings and concluding with a report with recommendations to the board that will include who these constituencies are, ideas on how to close any gaps, and what are the messages that may broaden our appeal that we want to get out. So thank you for accommodating me on reading our purpose of this committee. And again, welcome. So I don't know if anyone had any questions or comments regarding the minutes that were included. Yeah, we had so much going on. I was able to share out at the last general board meeting about our committee. I thought we had a really robust conversation. A lot of great information came out of that meeting. And so I'm just looking forward to learning even more about our various ways that we're doing well and how we can incorporate that throughout the district. So part of that is in having invited perspectives suggested by this committee and others to come and share with us. And as a result of that, that's why Marsha Pullman is here, invited to this meeting today. So welcome and thank you for being here. You were recommended to come and share any comments or thoughts or that you have around communications, how you are currently integrated in that area specifically for our district so that we can learn. So thank you. I turn it over to you at this time and let you share what you like.
Well, go ahead, Marsha. Help yourself there.
Let's say, David and Mark, did you want me to address for college and career academies?
Yeah, I think so. That's been something that's been kind of missing from our meetings that we need to fill that in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Okay, sure. So just a quick background or overview for the marketing and communications for college and career academies. We have two master plans that we use as kind of our guiding document for how we do our communications. So there's a master plan for the high school as well as a master plan that was recently developed and approved for the middle school. So there are objectives and strategies set in the master plan, and every year we revisit the master plan and develop our plan for the upcoming school year based on what was previously approved through those two master plans. So then we also, College and Career Academies also reports out monthly highlights to the Instructional Policy Committee of various initiatives that are going on specifically to College and Career Academies.
Okay, so thank you. And I'm new to the Instructional Policy Committee, so I have received those communications. I think they're really helpful. So, so how do you see as far as what specifically College and Career Academy is doing towards communications? How do you envision it, I guess, moving forward in a way that, I don't know, may even broaden the appeal? Because I know that's one of the goals of this committee is to how can we, broaden our appeal and maybe even, creatively think outside the box.
Right. So I can speak to some of the things we've done through the master planning, some of the objectives and strategies that we've executed against, and some of them that we are still in the process of doing. So the first was establishing and reinforcing a strong brand for the college and career academies that works in connection with Akron Public Schools. We developed a uniform look that has a logo specific to college and career, but it still incorporates Akron Public Schools, so you never have to doubt that college and career is separate from APS. And then we took it one step further and developed a logo for each high school using their high school colors. So we have the Firestone College and Career Academies, the Bookdale College and Career Academies, and all those also have Akron Public Schools, but they're unique to the schools based on their school colors. We developed a lot of materials to support the schools. We have various pathway cards. We have some materials that our academy coaches are able to use. We have pull-up banners they can use for various events. And we just started in the last year and a half installing hallway signage in all of our schools specific to the academies. So in the previous school year, we were able to complete North and Firestone. And this school year, even though it was a pandemic year, we were able to complete East and Bookdale. We're missing one sign at Bookdale, but that will be up within the first week of summer. This summer, also, we're working on Ellet and STEM. And then when Kenmore Garfield is built, we will be making sure that we install all the hallway signage at that school as well. A second objective that we work on is we try to always reach our current and prospective students and families. So we do monthly Academy 101 sessions. They're open to anybody in the district, regardless of what school they attend. But we make sure that the Academies 101 happen at every high school throughout, either high school or middle school throughout the school year. So anybody can come to any of them, but that way we make sure we within their cluster. So it's at least at their cluster, but they can cross clusters and still get the same message because they're not specific to that school. We do an 8th grade showcase every year where all our 8th grade students come to explore the various academies and pathways. But in the evening, we invite all our families to come too. So there's a designated time that families can come. This past year being a COVID year, we did the whole thing virtual. So they still had a virtual showcase experience. And then there's a lot of support that happens in our freshman academies also. Third objective we do is we want to make sure we're always increasing involvement with our business and our post-secondary partners. So for any named academy partner or any sister college or university, we have large partner events that people from the community, people from Akron Public Schools, there's a long list of people that get invited. Sometimes it's based on capacity size of the room. If we have a big room, we invite a lot. If we have a small room, then we kind of narrow that down to who we can invite to that, but then we make sure all the communications go out everywhere afterwards, regardless of the size of the event, so that the community is aware of that. We also recognize all our partners multiple ways on the College and Career Academy's website. We do it on the College and Career Academy's Twitter, and all of this I do in conjunction with Mark Williamson, so that anything College and Career does is also going out in all the Akron Public Schools newsletters. So I don't work in a silo. I do everything with Mark, or make sure he has all of our information to go out. And then we also recognize our partners in our hallway signage. So if it's an academy, their name is on that academy signage. And there's other pieces of signage that we still need to work on, and it's just been a time-consuming project. So I would say within the next year to 2 years, we should have all the other signage up. And then our fourth objective is in creating the informed culture of principals, teachers, and support staff. There's team training that happens every year. We produce an annual report every year that goes out. And on the back end of that, we do measure how much placement we received, how many hits we're getting on our website, how many hits or retweets we're getting on our Twitter account. And from there, we can continually make adjustments to try to improve our reach. But that's really a top line overview of the work that's been happening according to the 2 master plans in college and career academies.
So you mentioned the monthly Academy 101 meetings. I'm interested, like, have you been following how many people are you getting? A lot of folks on average to attend those? I know each year, you know, with an upcoming like freshman class, it probably increases around that time, but do you find those to be well attended, or are families able to take advantage of it?
Yeah, I don't have that data here, but I can get that data for you.
Okay.
But there is somebody that tracks our attendance at those meetings.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. Okay. It's evident, you know, I've been around through that whole process of when CCAs came to fruition. And I mean, it really, you guys done a great job with the branding, and it's very clear and concise. You know, I liked how, you know, the colors for each school was incorporated, you know, in the logo. So does anybody else on the committee have any questions or comments? No? Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out your lunch hour to come and share with us.
Sure, I'm happy to.
Ms. Colvin. And certainly, you know, all of this information. Again, we're just trying to, you know, look at best practices and how to make it, you know, good communications process across the whole district. You know, and you guys are doing a lot of, you know, great things, and it's very evident. So thank you. You're welcome to stay if you'd like, but we can move on if there's no objections or any other questions for Ms. Pullman.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Okay, so been a lot of things to communicate lately, Mr. Williamson. So I'll at this time turn it over to you to share any updates that you might have since we've last met.
We are working feverishly on the summer school programming website, all the web content, collateral materials, flyers, mailers, all kinds of things to get that done. There's a lot. That's one of the reasons it's taking a while, is because we're offering so many things. But it looks good. The graphics that go with it are really nice. It's a happy, fun looking presentation that you'll see when it's done. The Art Museum has asked us to help them. There's a project, and I don't know enough about it. I just always say yes. But they wanted pictures of our mascots that they're going to use in something they're going to be doing about Akron in the coming weeks. And I'm trying to round up images of every school's mascot, whether it's a human in a costume or if it's just a graphic image, because the elementary schools tend to just have like a Mustang or a wolf or something. But the high schools, may have something. Have a really nice picture of Larry Johnson wearing the Falcon. Of course, you can't tell it's Larry, but it's really good. It's actually, I wish we had one from every high school. It would be really cool. But I can't wait to see what they do with that. I haven't asked them. I'm just going to be surprised. We did start working with Carla Chapman on marketing the employee resource groups and the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs that she's going to be overseeing, because not just we're not just going to do that work. We have to build that, let's say image. It's not an image. We have to build that part of who we are now into our messaging and onto our website and into the communications that we have. We need to make sure that we let people know that this is a new path and a new direction that I mean, I'm not sure if that's the right way to put it, but we're working with Carla, and it's a lot. It's a big, it's like we're looking at like the next year, trying to figure out what she's going to need when to make all that happen and help support what she's doing. Backpack adventures coming up again this summer at the zoo, always incredibly popular. We are working on the campaign for that, for the visuals and the graphics, but also the handouts. We do a lot of giveaways here that go to kids, parents, faculty members. We have almost like a little general store up here with all kinds of things in it that we keep buying more because it's becoming more popular. So that's another way we market ourselves, quite honestly, is that we have things with our name on it that go out into the community and spread the word of APS. So that is part of the business, if you will, here that's grown tremendously since I started working here. We focus a good deal of our budget on giveaways. They're goodwill gestures. People like them. They're fun. We've kind of honed in on the items that kids really like and the things that adults like. And because our teachers are a big part, they come up to us, or people from the teaching community here will come up to our offices and say, I need 50 something. I've got another group coming in that would like to have something. And we so Renee Garrett in our office does all of that for us, and that's a really good thing. And then Hubspot, I always have to mention that because that's growing and changing. We only have about 10 schools left that are not on Facebook yet or don't have an account. So we're working with those last 10, but we're up to more than 30 now. And I know, Diane, I see you on Facebook a lot. We've been putting things out, not just on the district Facebook page, but we replicate a lot of what we do on all 30 plus school Facebook pages where necessary. And that has been, I think that's been pretty good. Anecdotally, I've heard from quite a few people that like seeing something pop up there, which means they weren't looking at it on the district page. They just watch their own schools, and that's great. So that's working out pretty well. I'm sure I'm missing something, but I'll stop there.
No, absolutely. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So, I mean, we're doing so much. I think it's really great work. And then again, just listening to Marcia and what you're doing, I mean, it's just, I guess I want schools to know that they have that opportunity, like at their building level as well, and how do we get them, and I think we're working towards that. But I mean, it's just the opportunity, I believe, is really out there for, them to kind of take their narrative, because there's nothing like that day to day. I mean, people in their buildings, they know better than anybody else what's going on. And there are things that, we might not know at this level. So for them to have in their hands that opportunity to, so
we could not agree with you more. And that's one of those things that we've been trying to do here for quite a while, is to get the buy-in from each school. We provide a ton of content. I mean, I don't know what most schools do, but we're bumping things off of our own front page on our website in one day, which means we have 4 or 5 news items in a day. We have great media coverage of what we do, I think, compared to other school districts. I'll say it that way. And every time there's something in the media, we try to get it out on all social media and our website. Some things maybe don't work on we have to decide what goes where. So, but if I'm one of our schools, I would see that, and I would, because we urge them to take it, run with it, use it, create your own stuff, use our stuff. And I think that's why the HubSpot idea with Facebook works, because we just basically put it there.
Mhm.
Where we are putting our stuff on their Facebook pages. Because I think it's just like a bank. If there's a central office in downtown of a bank and all the branch offices, they all have to be doing the same thing. They all have to have the same colored pens and notepads, and the signs got to be the same everywhere. We all work together as a team that has to have that support. They get it from us, and we want to have that support from them. Quite a few of our schools, send things our way, but we still have a challenge with other schools that don't. The communication isn't going both directions, so we've got to work on that. I think Hubspot will help, though. In fact, I know it will.
Mm-hmm. So, Mark, have you noticed as more and more schools are utilizing it, how are they managing their prospective pages? Do they have a team of folks? Have they designated a person? Like, is the PTA giving them a stipend to stick to it? Like, you're not getting paid now, but like, or is it different at every school?
I think it's different at every school, but for the most part, there's usually, with Facebook, the thing that makes that work, not just here, but all over the world, is that it's easy and people like it. So it's probably not that hard to get one person at each school who can say, I'll do this, and that's what we've seen in most schools. We communicate with the principal, and then the principal helps us connect with their Facebook account. I haven't gotten names of anybody yet. I'm just glad to see that we're able to post things. But that's a great question, because that's the thing that we need, is a face and a name for each school so we can contact them. On our websites, we have Ryan Hale, who's in our tech department, who posts things on the web. And he's come up with a pretty good way to get schools to do posts, but it's still sort of dependent on our sending them the information. What I really have wanted to see is for them to take a camera into their own classrooms and take pictures of activities and fun things at each school and put those on the website. And we just really honestly haven't seen that. Facebook, I think, will change that, because I think it's just quicker, it's faster, it's easier. It's not quite as rigid in terms of graphics and things like that. People can have more fun with it. So that's why I think we're going in that direction. I'm not sure what the future will be of our school websites. That's something we have to address.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mrs. Isaac, did you have anything you'd like to share with us at all? Any input?
Well, so one, as Mark was talking, what I was thinking so Ryan Hale is our webmaster, and he works with, I'm drawing a blank in their title, but there's one person at each building that's a instructional technology support person. And it's not the building TSS, the technology support specialist, but they have a supplemental contract. And one of the responsibilities is to keep the website updated. I don't think that it's social media, Mark or Dr. James, you may know, but I do know that it is for the website. And so those people are the ones who, when Ryan sends something out, they put those updates out. But so for my comment, I'm really anxious to see how Hubspot, and I agree with Mark, it's definitely going to benefit us. It's a step in the right direction. It's kind of that push they might need and an easy way to do it. So the district is sending the teacher of the year. We can send that out. So the person doesn't have to wait to get the posting. It kind of goes out from the district, or kindergarten registration. So we're making sure that they're getting all of those district messages, and then also giving them control over when they want to add something too. I think we're on the right track. This is exactly what we need. In addition to being able to track and see, like, where are families going? What are they opening? Is there a cluster maybe that is using a different means to accessing information, and we need to focus more on that, because everybody might not be using the same. I mean, there might be some families that prefer different ways to get communication. So my comment would be, I was very happy when I heard that we were going with HubSpot, because I think that was one of the things that we were certainly missing. And I also think it's going to be what's getting the ball rolling with this, to keep it consistent, make sure it goes to all the schools, and also give them control over things that they want to post as well.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay.
Quick question. For the dinosaur here, can someone explain to me what HubSpot is?
I wish I could come up with an analogy. HubSpot is a company that you hire to coordinate all of your social, whatever you want to use, social media. We're just going to say Facebook in this case. And they make it possible for us to form a network of social media sites that we otherwise wouldn't be able to do. And we can actually, they have a calendar, we can actually schedule postings 3 years out. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but if I did, I could put it on Facebook. You can, if you have a campaign, let's say, like we do with the Browns, with our Stay in the Game campaign, we have regular postings that go now to all of our participating Facebook schools, not just the district, which is great because it's an incentive for attendance. So it's going to, most of our schools, and all we do is we make one post, and you click on all the schools you want to have it, and it automatically, simultaneously goes to all of them. So your message gets out all at the same time. There's no way we could do that without that service, Valerie. That's what they provide. It goes way beyond that. They also do an analysis of your data and of what people like and what they don't like and how long they look at it. And those are all things that we're going to need for some other things down the road. So I think that's where we grow with it, is in that area. But for right now, just the raw meat, if you will, is just take the information and get it out there to as many people as you can. And I would use the Browns as a really great example, because that's something we want all of our kids to see, every grade level. And if we relied on our website to do that, they'd never see it. I know this. But with Facebook, there's a good chance that they will. And then the teachers see it, because teachers, even when they're off, weekends, holidays, whatever, I see them looking at our Facebook stuff, and they'll share it. That's the other great thing, is that they see something they like, they'll share it. And so it goes way beyond what we could even post into these other areas of the virtual world that we live in. Does that make sense?
It does. Thanks.
Okay.
I appreciate the explanation.
Okay. So there's no rule that says we have to meet for an hour. I'm not one of those type of people.
Bless you.
So, but I do have a question about, who are we not thinking about? Who else should be here so that we can hear? We're hearing all the great things, and that's good too. But, I also want to hear from maybe where we can grow, because that's the whole purpose, is so that we can grow in addition to continue to do what we're doing well. So, I know I mentioned secretaries. I know they're busy, but something tells me that they have this perspective that we're missing here, because I love secretaries. They know everything. They're your best friends in the building, along with the custodians. So, but I don't know if anyone else has a thought on who can be an invited perspective moving forward.
That's what I was going to suggest. Maybe we get representatives from support staff. Like you said, secretaries, custodial staff. I think all of those have valuable insight.
Just don't listen when they complain about all of my emails, okay? Just do me that favor, because no, I think that's a good idea. I also, Ryan Rittenhouse, who couldn't be here today because he's actually making this thing appear virtually, because that's his job, is a tremendous resource for us that nobody ever sees. You know, he kind of works a lot on his own, but all the videos that are produced all come from Ryan. He's a really creative guy, and I would love, I don't know if there's any way possible for him to actually, he's probably gonna come after me after this, but I think it would be really great for Ryan to be in some of these, just because he has really good, and he's really blunt. I'll add that. He's very direct. But you know, and he has a lot of ideas for solutions to problems, and he gets put, a lot of video ends up going to video ideas that people have go to Ryan. Everybody kind of says, well, I think we should do a video. You know, they don't always have an idea of how they want to do it or what it's going to take, but then they go to Ryan, and he very often just creates something. And sometimes, like just the last year or so, have been just an unending stream of work for Ryan, especially with all the extra board meetings and things like that. He's been really, really busy, and that's why he would make a good addition to this. Doesn't have to come to everyone, but I think once in a while it'd be good to hear from Ryan.
Okay. Well, I mean, then I would like to invite him, you know, to an upcoming meeting. I think our directive is to have a draft by July. So, I mean, we still have time. So between now and July, I would love to have him invited. So
yeah, I'll talk to him about that. If he can find someone else if he can do both things at once, and he usually can do like 4 things at one time, then we can make this happen. But I'll make a note to ask him.
Okay, absolutely. Anybody else?
I think I may have said this last time, but I would love to see May Walker invited. She is in Carla Sibley's office. She's in charge of family liaisons. She'd be a really good person to get that family, you know, because all of us sitting here, and I bet everybody here has our own way we get information, certain things we like, and it would be nice for her to, you know, she has that group of people who reach out to families that might benefit us to get a little bit of that perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, she was at the last meeting.
Yeah, she was at the last
Oh,
meeting.
was she here? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is she?
I love what she had to say. Maybe she can, I don't know if there are any willing families, you know, that she might have that connection for us to share. So,
you know what, that would be nice to even maybe have a family member regularly attend, maybe somebody from each different cluster attend on a rotating basis.
okay. Those are some good ideas. Okay. And then May can maybe help us coordinate that. So that'll be that's good information to work on. And that's really all that I have, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to share. We just want to sit for another 30 minutes.
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending. I'll see everybody a little later on.
Thanks, Diana.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.